Can't hear me, I will use it. I'll put it on here. My name is Linda Cotter. I teach at a Catholic. Introduce yourselves when you come up. Mine has to be close.
This isn't my speech.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be important. Sorry, we had the speech got turned. Go ahead, talk right into it.
Good morning. My name is George William Curtis. Liberty is the child of justice, and foes of the United States believe that governments justly exist by the consent of the governed. Then let them say whether half the adult population of the country whose interest in the Commonwealth is as vital as that of the other half, who are as intelligent, as moral, as orderly, who own property, who pay taxes, who in every way contribute to the general welfare, shall continue to be disenfranchised with the criminals, idiots, and the insane, or whether every opportunity which men themselves enjoy shall not be opened by them to the equally free choice of woman.
I forgot to mention these are actual writings and speeches, which makes it even more difficult. They also had to learn all the language. It's like studying a foreign language to know what these speeches mean. And they did that. All right?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amelia Bloomer. Ladies of Ohio, you must petition for the removal of your political disabilities. The history of mankind is the history of repeated injuries and usurpations on the part of the man to the woman. I believe if women are ever to have the ballot, that we must overcome these male tendencies. I urge you to picket, cajole, and nag these Ohio men to grant you suffrage so that you may right the injustices of the past. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Lyman Abbott, and I have come today to tell you why woman does not desire suffrage. This is the negative reason why woman does not wish the ballot. She does not wish to engage in that conflict of wills, which is the essence of politics. She does not wish to engage to assume the responsibility for protecting person and property, which is the essence of government. The affirmative reason is that she has other and in some sense more important work to do. It is more important than the work of government. It is work for protection of governments are organized. Woman does not turn aside from higher work, nor does she wish to divide her energies between the two. She must choose. She may give her time and thought and energy to the building of a state. She may give her time and thought and energy to the building of men. She has made her choice and she has made it wisely. Necessity may drive a few thousand women into battle with nature and the breadwinning vocations, but the great body of American women are true to themselves, and they will neither be forced nor enticed from it by the restless but well-meaning but mistaken sisters. Thank you.
Anyway, excuse me if I'm a little loud, that's just how my speech goes, but good morning. My name is Emma Goldman. Few countries have produced such arrogance and snobbishness as America. Particularly is this true of the American woman of the middle class. She not only considers herself the equal of man, but his superior. Especially in her purity, goodness, and morality. Small wonder that the American suffragist claims for her vote in the most miraculous powers. In her exalted conceit, she does not see how truly enslaved she is, not so much by man as by her own silly notions and traditions. Suffrage cannot ameliorate that sad fact. it can only accentuate it, as indeed it does. There's no reason whatever to assume that woman in her climb to emancipation has been or will be helped by the ballot. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Anna Howard Shaw. And God said in the beginning, it is not good for man to stand alone. That is why we're here. That is all what woman suffrage means. Just to repeat again and again of that first declaration of divine, it is not good for man to stand alone. And women of the state are asking that the word male shall be stricken out of the Constitution altogether, and that the Constitution stands as it ought to stand in the beginning. Just to repeat again and again of that first declaration of divine, it is not good for man to stand alone. And every citizen And as it must be for the states any part of the republic, every citizen processing the necessary qualifications shall be entitled to cast one vote to every election and have that vote counted. We are not asking, as our anti-suffrage friends think we are asking, for all the awful things we hear that will happen if we're allowed to vote. We are simply asking the government, which professes to be a republic, shall be a republic, and not to pretend what is not. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Annie Oakley. Most of you know me as Little Sure Shot, a performer in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. As an entertainer, I have worked and traveled all over the world. Everywhere I've been, women have not been given their due. Children work and live in unspeakable poverty. They work as hard or harder than men in the same jobs, yet their wages and living conditions are far poorer. This to me is an issue of greater importance than women's suffrage. We must address equal pay for equal work. We must put an end to child labor and sweatshops. We must solve these problems before we can work to get the vote. Thank you.
I think no one was more surprised that Annie Oakley did not support women's suffrage early on than I was. When we contacted the Annie Oakley Center, it was quite a revelation. So.
Good morning. My name is W.E.B. Du Bois. The statement that woman is weaker than man is sheer right. It is the same sort of thing we hear about darker races and lower classes. Difference, physical or spiritual, does not argue weakness or inferiority. It is inconceivable that any person looking upon the accomplishments of women today in every field of endeavor, in government and professions, in art and sciences, in art and literature, and in the industries. It is inconceivable that any fair-minded person could, for one moment, talk about the weaker sex of Judith, Candace, Queen Elizabeth, Certain the Truth, or Jane Addams was the merest incident of human function, not a mark of weakness or inferiority. To say that men protect women with their votes is to overlook the flat testimony of the facts. In the first place, there are millions of women who have no natural men protectors. The unmarried, the widowed, and those who have married failures. To put this whole army incontinently out of court and leave them unprotected with no voice in political life, it is more than unjust. It is a crime. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Retta Childor. Not only in the United States, but in every constitutional country in the world, the movement towards admitting women to full political equality with men is gathering strength. In half a dozen countries, women are already completely enfranchised. In England, the opposition is seeking terms of surrender. In the United States, the South-test enemy of the movement acknowledges that women's suffrage is ultimately inevitable. The voting strength of the world is about to be doubled, and the new element is absolutely an unknown quantity. Does anyone question that this is the most important political fact that the modern world has ever faced? Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Judge Benjamin Lindsay. In my position as judge, I see many children who come before me who are in serious trouble. These young people are often jailed with adult offenders. It is not the fault of the children or their mothers. These children are often born out of wedlock. The mothers cannot raise their children properly without the help of the fathers. Until women receive equal pay for equal work, they cannot provide for their children. Until women have the vote, they cannot influence laws governing property, child support, housing, and child labor. In Colorado, women have been given the vote, and only good has resulted. Their votes have been extended property rights to women, increased the pay they receive, and forced many men to live up to the family responsibilities. This has resulted in fewer children coming into juvenile justice system and help women to lift themselves up and their children from poverty. I urge you all to support the rights of women in Ohio and thus enable more women and children to move out from poverty and the courts so that they may grow to be contributing citizens of our great nation. Thank you all.
Good morning. My name is William Harvey Allen. President Taft said to a nation conference of women at Washington in 1910, "Your task is not convincing man, but convincing your own class. But whether the majority of women want to vote is not the question which demands answer, however important it may be in theory. The handful of women who are active in demanding the ballot is a matter of abstract right and public expediency are so managing the handful of men who are responsible for party decisions that the vote will soon be given to women. It is not worthwhile discussing now what fraction of women want to vote. Our task is, as rapidly as possible, to make all women capable of using the vote when they get it."
Good morning. My name is Catherine Wright. Suffrage is necessary, not only as a moral and political right, but as a step in the continuing improvement and empowerment of women. Many women suffer from the isolation created by their limited opportunities, and suffrage would mitigate much of this deprivation. I said women aren't worse than men, and they aren't a bit better than men, but they will become better, and on a more equal footing with men, when given the opportunity. Suffrage is just one more step in the process of giving the same chance as men and allowing them to reach their full potential. Thank you.
And I have to say, she memorized her speech because I didn't have it today. So that's pretty impressive.